What up, what up, what up, everybody? This is Plan Your Greatness, and I am at the spot, and I am your gracious host, Carlton Hamilton. Let's get into it today. It's been a while since I've done a video. Let me go ahead and get with the weigh-in, so I'm holding myself accountable. I'm at 237. Have not been working out that much, but I have been somewhat intermittent fasting. So I've been doing good. I just need to get back into the gym or home workout. And get myself going. All right, let's get right on to this. Who is holding you back? Think about that for a second. All right. Is it your parents, a spouse, a boss, your race, gender, community that you came from, sexual orientation? Which one of those things are really holding you back? Meaning what I'm saying is there someone else in control of where you think you should be? Okay. Now, as we look at those things, you can race is legitimate. I can't peel my skin off and become something I'm not. My gender, I can't turn myself. Well, they got surgeries and stuff like that, but I'm not changing. So I'm a dude. So that's just, unchangeable. But your parents, your spouse, your boss, your community, those things are all temporary, because you can move out of a bad relationship. You can move out of a bad job. You can move, get old enough to move out of your parents' house. You can move out of your community. But your race and your gender, you can't change those. So those are the things that are really difficult, but everything else is temporary. All right. Now, I bring that up because right here it says, here's a secret. Those other things, if you're still holding your parents' communities, let me tell you a secret. All right. They're not coming back. They're not. They are not going to come back. So you have to take control of your life. All right. I could cut this video off right now, and that would be it. You need to take control of your life. All right. But we're going to break this down a little bit. All right. So they're not coming back. So what you want to do first and foremost is love them anyway. I'm a perfect example of that. My mom and dad, specifically my father. I had to reach a point where I just said, hey, I love you. I love you. Despite of, all the things that I believe that were done or not done. I love you. So parents, spouse, bosses, communities, love them all, because you had no say so in that. Now you're out and about. Again, what are you going to do with yourself now? All right. The other one is, if you allow that, if that's still coming out of your mouth, that this person that hurt me, my mom did this. And I'm talking about some real, legit traumatic stuff. I'm not discounting anybody's stuff, because there is some crazy stuff that people have gone through in their lives. But here's the deal. If you are articulating that means you know where you came from, you know what happened, and here you are right now, you can articulate it. So what are you going to do right now? Okay. So if you're allowing that to happen, somebody, like I'm here in Arizona. My parents still live right outside of Chicago. I think if you MapQuest it, Google it, it's like 1,700 miles. And if I move to China, if I move to Madrid, Spain, I would still have those parents living in the house and all the stuff that I grew up in, controlling my every move. You see how unbalanced that is? I've got somebody that's not even in my life anymore, and I have them controlling me. So if they're going to be controlling you mentally as well as physically, because you're going to make specific moves based on the fact that you think that they're holding you back. Okay. Now, here's what's interesting about that. And I'm using my relationship with my dad and other coaches and everything is they don't even know. They know not what they did or what they still do. They don't know. So you're giving your power and the life that you should be living, you're giving it over to somebody that don't even know. That's what makes it so ridiculous, is they don't even know. My father, bless his heart. All right. So what I took from him, because most of you believe that somebody took something from you, what I was able to do was turn it around and to say to myself, you know what? You didn't take anything from me. You know what you gave me? My dad gave me a strong work ethic. Okay. See how that's the first thing that comes to mind? That man worked his ass off. He gave me a strong work ethic. You know what my mom gave me? My mom gave me compassion and hope, and just really to be a dreamer. Because I could have come to my mom with any idea and she'd have been like, oh, that's great, baby. Go ahead, do it, make it happen. My father may have been a pessimist, but my father would have turned right back around and ate his meal, drank his little Mickeys and went to bed and got up on time at 5 o'clock and went right into work. Rain or shine. And there's another video that I have where I talk specifically about my father's work ethic. Incredible. So that's what I look at. He gave me that. And the both of them combined gave me the strength that helped me get through prison. And if you didn't know I went to prison, there's going to be some there. Go look back at some of them other videos where I talk about that. I got through prison based on the DNA that was given to me from them. Because walking into prison, I didn't know I had that type of strength. But when I walked out of prison, I said, I'm a badass. There is very few things that I can't get through because I got through this. And I thank my mom and dad, and specifically, I thank my father when I graduated from college of what he gave me. All right. Now, why are you still holding on to this? Okay, it's a legitimate question. Why are you still holding on to these nasty, they held me back, they did this, they didn't love me? Because then the follow-up question is, can you tell me any of your bitching and moaning and complaining? Can you tell me where any of that is empowering you or taking you to the next level? Now, there are some people out there that have been motivated by that, but I'm asking you the question, has it motivated you? If it has, then more than likely you wouldn't be watching this video. Okay. But if it has not, then just clearly you might want to stop it. Because if it's not motivating you and it's not helping you, why would you continue to do it? I mean, there's psychological theories, and we're not going to get into that as far as why you continue to hold on to something like that, because it feels familiar as opposed to going into the uncomfortable space of trying to grow. And we'll just leave it right there. All right. So if you can't change it, then change the way you think about it or look at it. I know it can be very hard. And the initial reaction, because I've had this conversation with my son and daughter and other people that are close to me as far as how they feel about things that happened in the past and how do they move forward with it. I can't or whatever. I said, yeah, right now it hurts as you're thinking about it, but you got to fight it. You've got to be so intentionally purposeful and just saying that hurt. But you know what? I'm going to force myself to think better thoughts all the time. Because I was talking to somebody and they said, well, those thoughts in my brain, I can't control them. They just keep coming. They just keep coming. They just coming. And I said, well, you may not be able to control that thought, but how about controlling, like you're talking to me? Think of something that contradicts that thought. And every time it comes, I say, you can't control that one. That one comes, then control something you can control. Because you're talking to me, say something positive. You see what I'm saying? As opposed to just dwelling on what you just thought was a thought that you had absolutely no control over. And that's a whole nother conversation, as far as the creation of thought and where those things come from and how you can actually do that. But the more that you talk to those thoughts, I think you kind of knock them down. That's my understanding. All right. John Mayer has a song. And maybe in the future with this video, I might just put that music in there. He says, and his song is Waiting on the World to Change. And so that's what happens with many of us. We think that person hurt me. That person needs to change. That person needs to make amends. And when that person does that, then I'm going to feel better. But just like I said before, they're not coming back. And even if they sought therapy and got better and came to you and said, you know what? I'm sorry. I really, you know who they're really apologizing to? And if you're 30 years old, they're really apologizing to a 10-year-old. And that kid does not exist anymore. It's going to make you feel better. But soon as they get through apologizing, you know what you got to do? You got to go live the rest of your life. So you still got work to do. All right. So self-love or love of self does not blame others, and it does not try to change others. It really works on the self, just like it says. In international relations, there's a word. It's called sovereignty. And that I'm going to read this to you. Sovereignty is the authority of a state to govern itself or another state. Sovereignty. That's self-governing. And there are specific laws on the books that says no other country can come in and tell you what to do. You get to shape your policies and all the other stuff like that. No other country can do that unless there's some international relations and all the other stuff. There's a whole convoluted conversation that goes on before somebody can cross your borders and come in there and start messing with, that's a whole nother conversation as far as how we do things in the United States and get over in other people's business. That's a whole nother conversation. But understanding you're sovereign, especially if you can articulate where you've been and what you're trying to do. All right. It's up to you to, address that situation. All right. Excuses, in my opinion, are for your inability to take control of your life. Plain and simple. All right. So with that said, who's really holding you back? This is Plan Your Greatness. And I will say this again. Plan your greatness. You know why? Because no one else will. See you next time.